Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Gananaham Tva Ganapatigum Bhavamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspadanascham Nudibisi Dasadanam Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Sadashiva Samaram Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyamtam Vande Shri Guru Parambaram Om Shri Shankaracharya Swamine Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejaspinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay, we'll continue.
Hariharan Mahodaya.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Doshairyettai kulaknanam varnasankarakarakai utsyat yande jadi dharmaha kuladharmascha shashvataha.
Can you chant the second line once?
Utsat yante jati dharmaha kuladharmascha shashvataha.
Okay. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
Utsannakuladharmanam manushyanam janardhanam narake nityau vasaha bhavadidyanu shushrumaha.
Second line, can you repeat?
Narake niyatau vasaha bhavati yanu shushrumaha. Sushrumaha.
There's no ha there. Bhavati yanu shushruma.
Bhavati yanu shushruma.
Narake niyatau vasaha. Bhavati yanu shushruma.
Narake niyatau vasaha bhavati yanu shushruma.
Okay.
Sai Lakshmi Bhagini. Sai Lakshmi Bhagini. Okay. Lakshmi BV Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini. Aho bata mahat papam katsu vyavasita vayam yadraja sukhalobhena antum swajana mudyataha.
Good. Next.
TV Lalita Bhagini.
Yes, ma'am. Namaste, ji.
Namaste.
Yedi mama pratikaram asastram sastrabhanayakha dardarashtrarani hanyuhu tanme shemataram bhaved.
Okay, it is Mama Pradikaram. You said Pradikaram. Mama Pradikaram Ashastram Shastrapanayah. Okay, and Kshemataram, Kshemam, not Shemam. Okay?
Okay. Shall I repeat?
Yeah, repeat.
Yedi mama pratikaram asastram sastrabhanayakha dardarashtre rane hanyuhu tanme shemataram bhaved.
Okay, you may have to do some more practice. Kshema, Kshemataram. Okay?
Shemataram.
Kshemataram. K-S-H, Kshe.
She.
Ik sound should come. Kshe.
She.
Kshemataram.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. Next.
Vijay Lakshmi R Bhagini.
Shemataram.
R Vijay Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yeah.
She's not come.
Yeah.
Same Shloka?
We have chanted this or no? We did not start this, no?
Yesterday we started.
Okay. I think I'll chant it once, then you can repeat it. No? Sanjaya Uvacha Yeva Bhuktvārjuna Sankye Ratopasthavupavishat Visrujya Sasaranchapam Shoka Sambhigna Manasaha.
Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktvarjuna Sanke Ratopasta Upavishat Visrujjaya Sasaranchavam Shoka Samvigna Manasaha.
Visrujya, not Visrujjaya, Visrujya Sasaranchapam Shoka Sauvigna. I think I also chanted Samvigna. Shoka Sauvigna Manasaha. Okay?
Shall I repeat, sir?
Repeat once.
Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktvarjuna Sanke Ratopasta Upavishat Visrujya Sasaranchapam Soka Vigna Manasaha.
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Same shloka you can chant again.
Yes, sir. Sanjaya Uvacha Eva Muktvarjuna Sankhe Ratopastha Upavishat Visrujya Sansharanchapam
Sasharam.
Okay. Visrujya Sasaranchapam Shoka Samvigna Manasaha.
Very good. I think with this we have come to the last shloka of the first chapter. So here Sanjaya started initially talking to Dhritarashtra, explaining what is happening in the battlefield. And actually speaking, he has been explaining all these 46 shlokas, whatever we have done in the first chapter, to Dhritarashtra. Though the conversation was between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. And now he's concluding this chapter. He says to Dhritarashtra, Eva Muktva, after having told this, Arjuna, after telling all these things, he has now taken a summary of, he says that all these 46 shlokas, whatever has been told, Samkhye in the war front, Ratopastha Upavishate. Arjuna started sitting on the platform of Ratha, on the floor of the Ratha. So after talking all these things, he just sat on the floor of the Ratha. Visrujya Sasaram. Sasaram is the lot of arrows he was having. Those things he put it down. Chapam, even the bow he put it down. Shoka Sambhigna Manasaha. So he was absolutely full of grief in his heart, and then he just sat down. So that is what now Sanjaya is explaining to Dhritarashtra, that at the end of the day he has had a lot of discussion with Lord Krishna, and then he's totally filled up with grief in his heart. So he has now put down his arrows, put down the bow also, and he has just sat on the floor of the Ratha. So that is the way he has ended this particular chapter. Now, if you look at that way, whatever Arjuna was discussing with Lord Krishna in the last 20-25 shlokas, do you find anything wrong in that? He talked about dharma, he talked about his own people, he talked about the sins of the war, he talked about the challenges that is going to be there once everybody is killed. He talked about even forefathers will not be able to get the proper oblations. So he has talked everything about that. So do you think that whatever Arjuna was narrating to Krishna is right or wrong? Anybody?
Right, sir.
It's right.
Absolutely right,
It's
according
right,
to
sir.
Arjuna. Perfectly fine.
So Arjuna...
No, it's wrong because everything is...
I'm not able to hear. So he has now talked like a mature person. He is now looking at the consequences. He is absolutely confused. And he is a very nice person. Basically, he is a very good person. He feels that the consequences of war are very, very severe. He feels at the end of the day, he is only going to acquire the Rajya, he is going to enjoy those things, rightful Rajya. But he felt that just because I am going to, me and my brothers are going to be given the throne, the kind of consequences that is going to happen is something which is unacceptable to him, which is very, very true. So he said all these things. But now, what had happened was that after telling all these things, Lord Krishna, Arjuna could have just put down the arrows and also the bow and then walked out from the chariot towards Himalayas. He's right now at Hastinapura. Another 200 miles if he goes, he'll be able to go to Himalayas and do tapas there. But what has happened to him at this point of time is that he feels that this is his point of view, but maybe his point of view is not correct. And so he is waiting for Lord Krishna to give his opinion. So that is one of the things, whenever we are in a kind of fixated problem with so much of confusions, we have our viewpoint and we share with people, and then we say, this is what I feel. Then we feel that somebody is going to give their perspective, which is going to be much better for us to act upon. So he is now, right now, in that kind of situation. He feels that his perspective is absolutely clear. And he's a mature person. He is not a person who is immature. He is a very, very mature person. He is a very, very noble person. He is a very, very kind-hearted person. He's a person with a lot of valor and what is that? He's a warrior also. But still, he has got a very good heart. And because of that heart, he finds that all these things are happening, and he is not able to make a decision whether he has to go with the war or not to go with the war. And at this point in time, he does not walk away. That is what is to be seen. He felt that that is his viewpoint, but having come up to this particular place, is it not right on me to also seek the opinion of Lord Krishna? He was weeping. And then he thought, okay, let me also find what is the perspective of Lord Krishna. Let me take it from him. So with that kind of a perspective, he did not run away. He just sat down. He said that I am not able to do anything, Krishna, please help me. So he has just absolutely surrendered himself to Lord Krishna to help him out to overcome this situation where he has been put into, which is a very, very difficult situation. But he is a righteous person. We have to understand that he is a very righteous person. He is not a person who is going to run away. He is bothered about his family. He is bothered about the people, bothered about everything. But he could not take a decision, rightful decision. And so he is now not running away, but he is waiting for a help from Lord Krishna. He is almost surrendered to Lord Krishna at this point in time. So this is what Sanjaya is now narrating to Dhritarashtra about the first chapter, the context of what is happening in the war front, that Arjuna is absolutely overwhelmed with grief and sorrow. Okay, so now this chapter is ending. I thought I'd also take some time in explaining these shlokas, because this is going to repeat at the end of every chapter, except that it will change the name of the chapter and what adhyaya it is. Okay, so we'll spend some time also in this. We'll first do the chanting of this.
Yeah. Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Namaste, Mother.
Namaste. Om
Om
Tatsad
Tatsad Tatsad
Iti
Iti
Om Tatsaditi
Om Tatsaditi Om Tatsaditi
Srimad
Shrimad
Bhagavad Gitasu
Bhagavad Gitasu
Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu
Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu
Upanishatsu
Upanishatsu
Brahma Vidyayam
Brahma Vidyayam
Yoga Shastre
Yoga Shastre
Sri Krishna
Sri Krishna
Arjuna
Arjuna
Sri Krishna Arjuna
Shri Krishna Arjuna, Shri Krishna Arjuna,
Samvade.
Sambade, Sambade.
And chant it as Sauvade also. The va is coming next to that visarga, Anuswara. So you can say Sauvade. Shri Krishna Arjuna Sauvade.
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade.
Arjuna
Arjuna, Arjuna,
Vishada.
Vishada, Vishada,
Arjuna Vishada.
Arjuna Vishada, Arjuna Vishada.
Yogo Nama.
Yogo Nama, Yogo Nama.
Pratama.
Pratama, Pratama.
Adhyayah.
Adhyayah, Adhyayah.
Pratamodhyayah.
Pratamodhyayah, Pratamodhyayah.
Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय नमस्ते
Tatsaditi.
ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता उपनिषत्तु बृहमविद्यायां योगशास्त्री श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे अर्जुन विषाद योगो नाम प्रथमोऽध्यायः.
Okay. Next.
Bhanu Rekha Bhagini.
If you can chant slowly once, you can chant.
Okay. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Savvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Pratamodhyayah.
Okay. Next.
Bharati Sridhar Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini. Om Tatsaditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyayah.
Good. Next, one more person can take this.
K. Lalita Bhagini.
Namaskaram, sir.
Namaskaram.
Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Pradhamodhyayah.
Okay, one more person and we'll go.
Anupama Bhatt Bhagini.
Bhagini. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyayah.
Okay, good. I think all of you are able to chant well. So we'll just go to the meaning of this, which is going to be the same for rest of the rest of the concluding part of every chapter. Okay. Om Tat Sat is a separate word here, this particular thing. Om Tat Sat. Okay. Tat means the Brahman. That means that is the Brahman. Okay. The concept that we will be understanding in the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita is that Brahman is one, and the same Brahman is also me. The Brahman in me and the Brahman out there is all same. There's also a nice song by Annamacharya Kriti. Brahmam Bokate, Para Brahmam Bokate. There is a beautiful song, and if you are able to get onto the YouTube, you can hear to Rahul Vellal's rendition of this song. He has done a beautiful rendition, and you can also see the meaning of the each and every shloka in that. Brahmam Bokate, Para Brahmam Bokate. That is a beautiful thing. So that Brahmam is Om. So that Brahmam, Om Tat Sat, and that is Sat means reality. So the only reality which is Om is that Brahmam. The Om is the Brahman is the only reality. Okay, that reality is what we also have in our inner self. The reality is also the Brahman. The reality is the same thing that we call as consciousness. The same thing we call is a witness consciousness in us. The same thing we call Ishvara. The same thing we call Lord Krishna. Same thing we call as Bhagavan. Everything is that Brahman. So Om Tat Sat is Om, that Om is the reality. The Brahman is the reality. So that is what is the primary thing, and that is what we're all trying to understand. So that Brahman, the Brahman is universal consciousness. Okay. So that is the first thing that we need to understand. Second thing, Om itself is a very, very deep subject for discussion. I think we'll take it up at some point in time. In one of the shlokas also, it comes Om with Ekaksharam Brahma, Vyaharan. It comes in Bhagavad Gita also. And there's one Upanishad which has been exclusively, exclusively talks about Om. That is Mandukya Upanishad. In Mandukya Upanishad, there are only 12 slokas and they talk only about Om. And the Om Ye-U-Yam, which is the part of A-U-Ma, which is a part of Om, is talked about the three states of mind we have. One is the waking state, who is the dream state, and the third one is Ma, is the deep sleep state. It is an analysis of the states of our own existence. We are either awake, or we are either dreaming, or we are totally asleep. And there's a fourth state called Turiya, which is going to be discussed in Mandukya Upanishad in detailed manner. So this Om is discussed in detail in Mandukya Upanishad. And I'll just take 5 minutes of this particular concept. In the waking state, what happens is that with our body-mind complex, we are interacting with the whole world. And when we interact with the whole world, there is a knower in you which knows everything that you're doing. Okay, that knower knows what you have been doing in your waking state, interacting with the external world of objects day in and day out. Okay, that is called Vaishvanara. That's called Vaishvanara is the person in you who is interacting with the world of objects and things in the waking state. When you sleep, then your body is absolutely not there. When you go to a sleep state, your body is not there. You do not know about your body. Supposing if you're in a dream state, your body is not there, only your mind is there. So the mind is projecting certain things based on your experiences. Your mind is creating and projecting, and your mind is seeing, and you think that you are seeing, and you are a witness to that. So there's nothing from external world. It is all a creation from the mind, sustenance by the mind, and destruction by the mind. So the mind becomes a kind of a creator, destructor, and sustainer in the case of dream state. And that time also, whatever this mind is doing as a dream, you are aware of that. You are the knower of that. You know that I dreamt. Okay. In the waking state, you know that you have been interacting with the world. In the dream state, you also know that this is what happened in my dream. You know it, but it was not having any kind of response, any kind of interaction with the external world. Purely it is mind. Mind was operating on itself. In the deep sleep state, mind also is not there. So the body is not there, the mind is not there. You are sleeping like a log of wood. On the deep sleep state, for an animal or for a human being, for everybody, it is same. They're all like a dead wood. They do not know where they are sleeping, which part of the world, who they are, whether they are sleeping in a place A or place B. Nothing they know. They just are ignorant. There's total ignorance of what is happening in the sleep state. You neither know your body, neither you know about your thing, but your witness consciousness, which is Atma in you, the knower in you, is fully aware of that. But only thing is that the witness consciousness in the waking state is able to witness what all things that you're doing. In the dream state, it is able to see what all things you are dreaming. It knows it. But in that particular time, because there is neither the interacting with the external world nor with the mind, there's nothing for that to see. So it is in total darkness. It is just like you are put into a dark room without anything. Your eyes are open, but you don't see anything. So that is the situation of the Atma at that particular point in time. And that Atma is called Prajna. The Atma in the case of dream state is called as Tejas. In the waking state is called as Vaishvanara. So there is a beautiful analysis of all these three things in the case of the Mandukya Upanishad. And Om is the actual Brahman. The Brahman in you, the Brahman everywhere is that. So there will be a lot of discussions on that, but I just wanted to give you the flair of the witness consciousness in you, which is going to be different in different points in time. Waking state is different. The dream state it is different. In your sleep state is different, and you continue to be the witness consciousness. And the witness consciousness, which is the knower in you, is primarily the Atma. Okay, that is the Brahma Vidya. And that Brahma Vidya is only talked in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is trying to provide this Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya. Upanishad is also like Bhagavad Gita is also like a Upanishad, and that is also providing the same Brahma Vidya. Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya or about understanding about the Om or Brahman is what Bhagavad Gita is going to provide. Upanishads are going to provide Brahma Vidya. Yeah, only that Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya. And Yoga Shastra, in the case of Bhagavad Gita, it is also going to provide Yoga Shastras. How do you use your mind to understand your Brahma? That is, how to use your mind faculty in terms of understanding the Atma is the Yoga Shastra. It is the process. So you may have a process of using the mind to understand yourself, or you have the process of doing karma as a discipline, which will help you in terms of understanding yourself. So all these Brahma Vidyas are all discussed. So all these Yoga Shastras are all discussed in the case of Bhagavad Gita. So when you say Vishada Yoga, that is the chapter on Arjuna's distress. And this Yoga Shastra talks about the how do you condition your mind in terms of understanding yourself? What is the process of conditioning your mind? How do you work with your mind? So that is also going to be talked to you in the case of Bhagavad Gita. So it is also called Yoga Shastra. And how does this Yoga Shastra and Brahma Vidya being given to you? By the discussion with Krishna, Arjuna, Samvade. They both are talking about this. But now these people, Arjuna and Krishna, have only talked about the grief. The chapter was already discussing about Arjuna's grief. Arjuna Vishad Yoga Nama Pratama Adhyaya. So that is the way it completes. Okay. So this Om Tatsad Iti. So Om Tatsat, that is Om, that Parabrahman is the only reality, Sat. That is the only Sat. Okay. Iti. Thus, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, were helping us to understand the Brahma Vidya, and with all those kinds of tools that you have as Yoga Shastram, by the discussion of Krishna and Arjuna. And this particular chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga, or the despair of Arjuna, or grief of Arjuna, sorrow of Arjuna, or Arjuna's state of mind. That is the first chapter. That is the absolute meaning of this. Okay. So and the same kind of things will repeat chapter after chapter after chapter. Only thing, the last portion will change. Okay. The other thing, before I go to the second chapter, I want to tell you is that the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita will talk about who you are. So it will talk about more and more about trying to make yourself understand who you are. Yesterday we talked about essence of a horse is running, essence of a bull is carrying load. We talked about essence of an individual is knowing. So the first 6 chapters are going to talk about what is the essence of you. As in you means I'm telling including me. It is going to talk about the essence of the individual. The second 6 chapters are going to talk about who is Bhagavan, what is Brahman, what is Om, who is that person. So that is what is the next 6 chapters. The last 6 chapters are going to talk about what is the relationship between you and Bhagavan, or rather Pure and Bhagavan is what is going to be the high level discussions in the terms of last 6 chapters. So it is made into 3 different compartments: who you are, who the God is, and what is the relationship between we as well as and the God. That's the last 6 chapters. Okay. Then In many places in Bhagavad Gita, we have the term Purusha. Purusha means do not confuse that it is a male Purusha. Purusha is different, Stri is different. In Vedic time, a human being was called a Purusha. When they say Purusha Suktam, it does not mean it is all only for men. No. Purusha Sukta means Purusha. Purusha means a human being. Those days there was no this kind of disparity between women and Stri and Purush. Those things are later come in Sanskrit, Pulling, Striling, all those kinds of things. But in Vedic time, Purusha means human being, individual, Jivatma. That is the way you should look at it, and not look at it as the Bhagavan has told, Pumsam he has told means it is only related to, it is gender specific. No, it is not gender specific. It is all for the person whom we have all taken a birth, and this particular being is the one that is called as Purusha in the Vedic traditions. Okay, so this is the kind of initial first chapter we have completed now successfully, and I hope all of you were able to have a flavor of the first chapter. Next 5 minutes or so, I would request somebody to raise their hand, and they can just give a flavor of what is that they have learned in this first chapter, so that it will be a benefit to everybody. And then if something else somebody wants to add more than that, they can take and say this also we discuss, so that it will give a kind of wonderful recap for all of us. Will you do it for 5 minutes now, Kanchanaji?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Yeah,
They can raise their hand. I'll just.
Yeah, and they'll raise their hand, and whatever they are talking, other person who wants to take next should not repeat the same thing or change the language. They can talk on the next things that needs to be also emphasized in the particular what has been emphasized in the first chapter. So we'll be able to quickly wrap it up. At the same time, we'll also get a quick understanding of the first chapter. Yeah. Who is going to talk?
Can I talk, sir?
Yeah, please.
You want the little what we understood so far about the first chapter.
Yeah.
Initially, Dhritarashtra, who can't see, he is depending on Sanjay to explain whatever is going on in the Kurukshetra war. So he is first saying what he saw on the battlefield, and what you want the essence only then?
The essence.
Okay,
we will not go into details, but just essence of.
Okay. Then here basically Arjuna, who was all set to fight against Kauravas from long time, and he wants to fight the righteous war. But when he comes to the war field, actually, when you are in the particular situation, then you will you are so perplexed that what is happening here. All are my own people. And first he wants to see who are all there. Then when he sees all of them, then he is totally shattered to see all these gurus and all the relatives. So he feels that he is helpless and he cannot fight these people, because there may be some consequences in this world and in another world also. There may be this Naraka and all what he has said. We will go to, this is like a sin according to him. So he's totally lost his control of the mind and body, and he just sat down. As you already explained just now, he sat down only, he did not run away. So he wants some advice from Lord Krishna. That means, as you said, we take advice from others in our difficult situations and follow what we, finally decision is yours, but the advice is taken from other people. Yes. I think that's what I felt.
Wonderful. I think you summarized it very well.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to
Kashmira Bhagini raised hand.
Yes. Actually, the essence of the first chapter is Arjuna being a great warrior. He was almost perfectly fine until he reached the war front. He asked even Krishna to bring the chariot to the center on both sides so that he can visualize and decide upon how to face the war and how to do go ahead in the war. When he came, when Shri Krishna placed the chariot in the middle of both the sides, he just after seeing his own siblings, his brothers, his acharya, his relatives, everything put together, I felt he was carried away by the emotions. Like he felt like, ये तो मेरे अपने लोग हैं, मैं इनको कैसे मार सकता हूँ. Until then, he was mentally prepared that 100% whatever be it, he's going to go ahead with the war and do the necessary according to the dharma. But when he faced his own acharyas, he was like after shloka, he's getting dull and dim. He's unable to. Each shloka is explaining the dharma, the consequences, what it would be. According to him, it is perfectly right that he should not face the war. And what he said is true. To Krishna, whatever he said was absolutely true, because the Kulanasham hota, Varna Shankaran hota. So ye sab, that is the result of the war, as everybody knows. But then I felt he's carried away. Actually, he should follow his dharma rather than carried away by the emotions and attachment to that. Whatever is right has to be done in whatsoever consequences be it. So that is what I felt personally.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and in Bhagavad Gita, no, I think these kinds of different perspectives will be there, and it's always better to discuss this and just once again refresh ourselves. That will help us in terms of further learnings. That's the reason why I thought I'll spend this 5 minutes time.
Yeah. Hariharan Mahodaya wants to say.
Hari Om, sir. Till this war, what I could say is that till this war erupts, and the last moment the Krishna was trying to pacify, the war will not happen, war should not happen type, all this thing. Those time, up to those times, Arjuna, I feel that he was ferocious to get this land, and whoever may be the opposite side, he will kill and get these things done. But once he get into action, he is getting trembled, and he sees that all his relatives are before him. If he kills them, and his sin will get increased, and he may not be in a position to enjoy his rajyam and all these things. But I could say the other way around, that if Arjuna faces a warrior, or the person opposite side is not their relatives or someone else, and if he is already holding the fort, and somebody else is coming and attacking him, and if he is not going to see that he is not the person of the his relative or the thing, so he will simply, without any hesitation, he would have killed and acquired that, defeated those persons. So here what I see is that relationships comes in between at the fag end, and he's getting confused about that, what to do on that. This is what I could say that.
Right. You mean Dharma Sankatam?
Dharma Sankatam. Perfectly correct.
Otherwise, he would have been on the righteous thing. I have to fight, I have to throw the enemies out. He would have done that. But now he has got Dharma Sankat. So he was not able to act on that. So he has got it. And many at times in life, I think we get into a Dharma Sankat kind of situation. Correct. And we don't know how to act, and then we act in a way, and it is bad for everybody.
Till he comes to the war place, he was ferocious. What we could see in other sectors. And see that he was ferocious. We need to get why we should bow to them, why we should go for a compromise, and all these things. He was. So this is what I could see.
I think one attachment also is towards their own people. I think that has also caused.
Yeah, the attachments always. Exactly. That is, whenever we find, we are always very good in terms of commenting when somebody makes a mistake. But when it comes to the question of our own kith and kin, we have a tinted glass. We will not be able to see it in the right perspective. That also shows up. That is what is the Viveka. So that's what Lord Krishna is going to talk about, all those kinds of things in the subsequent chapters. What is right should be done, and we have to help people also. But at the same time, we cannot be biased in terms of the way we are going to take action. I think he'll be discussing many of these things in the coming chapters. I think fantastic. I think you all had explained the things very well. And this is just giving a context setting. And maybe if you all feel that it will be a good idea to have this discussion for 5-10 minutes at the end of every chapter, it will help us to progress well and then start assimilating whatever we have done. We are all okay with that?
Yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely.
Definitely, sir. I feel it should be done, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. We'll do that.
And Mandukya Upanishad explanation was fantastic.
It is one of the shortest Upanishads. It's only 12 slokas. Of course, the Karika is around 240 slokas. But if you read it twice, thrice, 4 times, and then listen to some of the commentaries, it's fabulous. That is the one that really throws many things to understand our own selves. Maybe if some of you are interested, you can start parallelly doing those kinds of things.
Okay, sir.
Because it all requires time,
Time and consciousness.
But it is beautiful. One of the nice things about understanding the 3 states of mind and understanding that you are the witness conscious, you are not the doer. You see everything and you are going to remain, what do you call it, detached to what is happening. Actually, the Atma is detached. It is only watching. It's just a witness conscious. Like you sit on the banks of Ganga in Rishikesh and see the water going, you are just witnessing that. It is like that. Atma is just witnessing what is all going in the mind. As a river water going from here to there, it is just watching. So we have to understand that Atma. It is not easy, but that is what Lord Krishna in the entire Bhagavad Gita is providing you with a lot of tools and preparations that are required in the case of body, in the case of mind, in the case of bhakti, in the case of knowledge, so that we'll be able to do it ourselves, because it is not a textbook material that you read biology and understand the plant and the leaves. No, it is something different. It cannot be explained. It's called Anirvacham, Achintyam, Avyaktam. These are all the terms that they use because it is very difficult to explain. And he's going to provide us the tools. Okay, he's going to give all the microscopes and also the processes of how do we niyamam, yamam, what we need to have. Only with that we'll be able to at least make attempt to see this. And if we cannot do that in our life this time, he has also assured that I'll ensure that you will be continuing this journey till such time you are able to get the answer to know yourself. That's what he has assured. That also we will discuss in this thing. One more thing, I can start the second chapter, but I thought before starting the second chapter, one more thing is that when we say Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, that's what we say. That Shrimad means in Sanskrit, we have a term called Shriman. Shriman is a guru. Okay. And Shri is also wealth. And wealth of knowledge, a wealth of knowledge is possessed by a guru. And in this particular case, Shrimad means guru. Who is the guru? Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we also discussed that he is the person who possesses 6 different qualities. I think we discussed about knowledge, jnana, vairagya, and then what is the third one? Yashas, Shri, creation, that is Shakti. So we had 6 different characteristics that was there for Bhagava. And now this Bhaga means Bhagavan is the guru who is leading us for this. So when you say Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, so means Bhagavan as a part of with Gita is leading us to this particular knowledge. Shrimad as a guru. So the Shrimad stands in this particular case as a guru. That is one thing that we need to understand. And then I'm just now one more thing is that we were thinking about the thoughts. Okay, I just put one small small point in your mind, and then we'll go to the next chapter. When you are having a deep sleep, the weight of your brain is say 2 kg. Okay, and when you get up, and then you got so much of thoughts, so much of things that is there, then does the weight of your brain change? It does not change. So thoughts are all defined as sukshma. So thought is sukshma. You will not be able to have any kind of measures for thoughts. When the thought that is there in you is known to your Atma, the Atma becomes also sukshma. So it is not possible to know. So when you say that avyaktam, achintyam and all, it is because it is a sukshma. So that understanding of sukshma is also required. So maybe I will be taking it up through some other examples of how those things are happening. In some of the shlokas of second chapter, we need to discuss more in terms of Atma and also how the transmigration takes place when when the body falls. At that time, I will start talking in a very high level about how those kinds of things happen. So with this, we'll conclude the chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita. And today is already 9:30. Okay, so perhaps we'll close the class today and start afresh tomorrow. Okay, will that be okay? And we'll start the second chapter tomorrow or day after.
Yeah, day after we have a class.
Next class is on Tuesday, Mahodaya.
Okay.
Tuesday, okay. Monday we are not having it. Oh, Monday is Ram Janmabhoomi thing. Okay.
And Pratishtha.
Yeah. So you can, what do you call, Kanchana Behini,
Yes, Mahodaya.
you can perhaps close the audio recording now.
Okay.
I would like
Kshamapanam.
to
After
also
Kshamapanam.
you can close the recording. Next for 8 minutes now, I'll just take a time to introduce them to one small material available in the YouTube, which I am using extensively. I'll share with them so that they'll also be able to take advantage of that. Okay?
Okay, Mahodaya. After Kshamapanam, I'll end it. Mahodaya.
Yeah, that's right.
Sir, one small thing, sir, if
Yeah.
you don't mind. Is it possible to have one full chanting of Dhyana Sloka and the first chapter, or every end of the chapter, so that we can get it recorded and we can get it practice out of that?
Yes, Mahodaya. It's done. It's done. It will be uploaded.
Okay.
The Dhyana Shloka, she had already taken the initiative of recording it around a few days back.
Okay, sir.
We'll be providing it, and then we'll also do the same thing in the case of the first chapter.
Thank you.
And I'll also give you the link of Swami Brahmananda of Chinmayananda Mission. His chanting is fantastic.
Okay.
I
Thank
would
you.
say that his chanting is the one through which I also learned the chanting.
Okay.
So you can also have access to that. You just put Bhagavad Gita chanting Swami Brahmananda.
Brahmananda. Okay.
Right from Dhyana Shloka, he has done. It will be very, very nice, melodious. It is 3.5 hours, it will go.
Oh.
It is a wonderful thing to listen to. Okay? ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तुते विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व पुरुषोत्तम अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष जनार्दन